Hello, everyone. Sorry for this technical issue that we face. Guys, I'm still there. If you are still there and you can hear me properly, please write one in the chat box, please. So we'll just hold for a minute so that the others they can join us. All right. So shall we continue? Any questions regarding this ADDIE model? And we do apologize for this technical issues happened. So any questions here? So if you are okay, please type okay in the chat box. Okay, that's 1 out of 16, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, okay, Sarah's 1. That's great. All right, so let's continue. So that ADDIE is one of the very famous models regarding to the training process and how we do the training and development process. It's about to analyze. The first thing that we have to analyze the needs, understanding the gaps, and then designing the skeleton for the program or for the training solution. Yes, sure, Mr. Ahmed will share it. Okay, and then we're designing the program, the skeletons, and then we'll go through the development phase, putting the bits and pieces like a puzzles. What are the activities, how we are going to do it, do the pilot session, getting the feedback, observation to see it's gonna work properly or no, or what we have to do some necessary changes before going to the implementation phase. Implementation phase, it's about getting the people into the room, considering a very important point, which is the business operations. Let's say, for example, you are working in a factory or working in a retail industry, restaurant, regardless to the industry that you are working in. Once you are thinking about the delivery, you have to consider the business needs and the business operations also as well, or the department operations. Instead of stopping the operation, and that would also give a loss to the business. So you have to make sure the schedule is well properly done. And the final phase, which is going to be the evaluation, and we'll talk about it into a bit details. All right. So once we start to collate it, all the information regarding to the training needs and to analyze it, and we'll start to develop to create the content. Here, I would like to have a quick demonstration for you about how can we create the training calendar, and also how can we put it into that training needs. And one of the other training needs methodologies is like a questionnaire. So some people they write the questionnaires doing like a menu, same like the selecting menu, a la carte menu that whenever you go to the restaurant. So let's say that as a training department, you have program 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? And you have a 3 levels of employees. Let's say we have here the managers, okay, and here we have the supervisor level. Okay, I'll write it as V. Okay, and then we have the team level or the normal employees, right? And each level for those employee level, okay, will start to some people. This is the very basic methodologies for identifying the training needs. Okay, So let's say, for example, we normally we put it before into this format. So employee number 01 will have program 1 and program 3, program 4, program 7, program 9, and then we will start to put the ones here and there. So, oh, sorry. All right, I'm just putting any random data so that at least that you can have the some figures that you can to see the results, how it's going to look at the end. All right. Then let's say, for example, this is according to the training needs. This is what we got as a requirement from your departments within the organizations according to the level of the managers, supervisors, team level. All right. So each employee will properly see how many training programs that he or she is going to attend on the long term or within, let's say, within the calendar. Let's say we're talking about quarterly basis or 4 times in a year, 2 times in a year, or annual basis. So at the end, you will see the total training programs per employees into that side, right? And then you see for each and every program, how many people is going to be participated in each and every program. That will help you to start to prioritize to how to order or prioritize, yes, which program you are going to start first. And according to that, then you take the results and the number from here before the actual starts for the program. Let's say program 1 will start today's 25th of March. Okay, let's say we are going to start this program by 30th of March. So you would start to send the necessary communication to the employees, excuse me, that we are going to start this program into this with all the necessary communications, location, timing, duration, and so on. Here I'm talking about the implementation, how you can implement your calendar. And according to that, you take the requirements from here and the numbers from here, and then we'll start to plot it into your big calendar. So let's say in Jan, we are going to deliver program 1. Okay, in March, we are going to deliver here program 2. Deliver program 2. Here we are going to deliver program 3, for example. This is just roughly data that we put it together so we can see how it looks like. And then you will start to plot it here, here and there according to the program 1, 2, 3. So that will be 4, that will be 5. I have a question. You put manager and team into the same program. Sorry. I have a question. You put manager and team into the same program. Is it correct? Yep, here, because here we are doing like a roughly data or just putting in some data. Okay, however, into the actual real case scenarios, okay, there's case to case here. If this program related to the managers, so we'll start to stick to the program to the managers level only. However, if we have any potential employees is going from the supervisor level or promoting you or working into a development plan for the supervisor level to go to the manager level, that would be the best time to put them. And the same also from the team to the supervisor level. But here for me right now, I'm just putting it into like just for a demonstration only. It's not focused, just putting randomly ones, right? So if you make it properly, so you can have it into the phase. So thank you very much for clarification. Because one more thing also, I think it will be different the programs according to the needs. Yes, absolutely. But this is what I'm saying. So according to the needs, which program you are approaching to you. In the other side, if you are making any development programs for, let's say, for a future development or for talent management program, something related to promotions that X person has to go through these programs, so you need to start to include include them within this program as well, and that would be a part of from their development plan. I think to create a development succession plans or individual level IDPs, individual development plan, or PDPs, personal development plan. Okay. In my current company in Armada right now, I'm taking some of the senior sales associates because we are a retail organization, retail fashion. We are taking some of the senior sales and putting them into managers program to start to see what the managers doing, the training, their development plans, and so on. So let's say, for example, I have a leadership program, or I have a management skills program, so I can take some people from the supervisory level and put them with the manager level in the particular specific training program, not for all, definitely. All right. So I think it's clear right now, right? Okay, or you still have any doubts about the questions? All right, that's great. Keeping into consideration, yes, Lucy, the department budget, absolutely. That we have, see, there is a lot of considerations, and the logistics part also you have to think about it, and the cost for the delivery, and the employee turnover also as well. I faced this case in Saudi Arabia. I went there the first time to deliver training for the people there in Saudi Arabia because of the feminization. I'm sure most of you know about this. Okay, and then after some time going to travel again back again, I found that some of those people, they already left the company because of that high turnover there. We'll talk about the delivery methods and how you would deliver it within the organization, because some of the organizations, they prefer to do like an in-house training. Some others, they go for an external outsource companies, and some other companies, they go for an online learning systems. And all what you are talking here about right now, it's we are talking about, just to align the people with us, we are talking about the implementation part and how would be the delivery for it. Are you going to hire a training room? Are we going to have any additional costs for trips, travel, food, non-food, stationaries, equipment? Some of the programs also you need to have like a demonstration, real life demonstration. Well, in that case of the KSA one, it was very difficult because Saudi Arabians, I'm sure that you know about them, how they look like. Especially talking about the ladies, the feminization, not that's one of the main challenges that I faced there personally. You can make sure that once the employee is trained 2 years, he should not be allowed to leave the business. And this part is specifically that Maqsood is saying, it's about the writing a commitment letter, and that normally if the company is doing the program in-house by internal employees, okay, that would be less restriction compared that if the company pay an actual money to an outsourced company, an external company, okay, that they hire a specific training and they need these people to go outside. Excuse me. Same like the case, let's say, in the KPC and petrol corporations, that they travel abroad for a particular training program and then they will return back again. And this is a big amount of money that's going to be like a direct investment. All right. That's very good. Thank you very much for your participation. Yes, I agree. In case of external trainers, the company pays and give paid leave extra. Absolutely. All right. Let's talk about the training delivery model and how we can utilize the current existing resources within the company to use the internal knowledge and you start to deliver to everyone. One of the famous models, it's called 70-20-10. 70% of the training delivery, it would be within on-job experience, on-job training. Okay, which is here we are talking about learning by doing, learning through doing. All right. Implementation, task and job rotation. Let's say we are going to take a person from this role and put him or her in another role for a temporary period of time for a development purpose. Let's say, for example, you are training some people on cashiering, for example, point of sale, how they do. And here we are talking about the mass, the big numbers of the employees, how you would properly cover them in a very short period of time in effective way, and to ensure also the continuous of the delivery within the organization. And on-job experience or on-job training, that will be the best approach for this, right? The second part would be the 20%, which is called informal training. That would be one-on-one sessions, coachings, mentorings, follow-ups on particular employees, and how they are going to make sure that they are on the right track. And normally we use that informal training into the development programs, succession plans, PDPs, PIPs, IDPs, all of those terminologies, or we use this approach of informal training. Once in a month, twice in a month, thrice in a month, then you can make sure that those people are up and running within that particular development program, right? The third one, which is the 10%, and it's called formal training, and which is here we are talking about the proper classroom training and how that classroom training would be like workshops, case studies, discussions, role plays, assignments, tasks. And this is where exactly that we need some external facilities like a meeting rooms, or yeah, internal or external meeting rooms booking. So here we would properly pay the money. Here you are going to pay some money. Here you properly use your internal resources, not an external resources on the OGT or on-job experience. Okay, clear this part for all, or shall I repeat it or explain any clarification? If it is okay for you, please type one in the chat box. Okay, thank you, Lucy. Thank you, Mr. Ahmed Bilal. Thank you. That's great. One of the critical parts and the critical aspects is that how you properly evaluate the training. And there is a gentleman, yeah, he's a passed away. He's called Carrick, and he has one of the famous models of evaluating the training. Okay, the first one for the training is to measure the first level is to measure the reaction, the satisfaction for the employees. Did the employees they enjoy the learning? And here we are talking about the very basic things, that about measuring the content, measuring the satisfaction on the trainer and his delivery, the structure, the way, the techniques, tools that he normally used within the session. What is the key learning for the people during the session? Level 2, here we are talking about the learning gain, which is, did the knowledge transfer occurs? Here we are talking about pre and post the training, how the people was before the training session, and after the training session, how they are right now. In terms here, we're talking about the learning, the knowledge, how much they gain from the session. The level 3 is about changing in the behavior. Excuse me. Did the learners start to change, implementing what they learn? Did the learners start to deliver what they learned within the session? They start to practice on the real floor, on the real day-to-day tasks, or still there is any gap? The level 4, which is about the results. Did the training have the measures, measurable impacts on their performance for those particular people. Let's say, for example, we are talking about the normal one, the normal case or normal example about service, customer service, or about selling skills. About selling skills. So here we are going to see, did the people improve their customer service level? In overall, the customer satisfaction rate is start to improve or still in the same? What is the end result for that particular program? Till those four levels, it was done by Mr. Carrick Patrick. And then recently, and that's with very specific cases, will start some people to measure the level 5, which is the return on investment. How normally the return on investment will start to be calculated to prove that the training is start to get that investment back into within the organization. Normally it start to measure like we take a sample for a people and we start to measure the performance like for like. So we compare people are trained like compared to the people who are not trained. Let's say, for example, I have 100 employees in the department or in the company. So I take a sample of 25 people, will start to deliver the training program for them and start to measure those 25 according to the versus to the other 20, 25s, 25s, 25s. This is going to be one tool. Another tool, we will start to measure the impacts of the effective training program and its efficiency, how much it costs in terms of the facilitator rate, the trainer cost or the training fees, how much we spend for the booking, expenses, travel, logistics, food, non-food items, all of those things will start to take it as a expenses, direct expenses and the indirect expenses for the program. And then we'll start to measure it across a period of time. Remember, training and development will not have a direct return on investment on day one or in day two or in day three. Let's say, for example, in day one, I put, because of the training, it returned 1 KD. Day two, it returned 2 KD. Day three, it returned day 3 KD, 4 KD, 5 KD, and so on. In day one, you will not have the total or the direct return. However, by day 5, you will find that you got back again to the company like around 15 KD. It's not on day one. So always training and development programs and all the activities within the department, it's like a mid to long term. Short term, it was going to be somehow very difficult to measure it specifically when you're talking about the ROI and also about the results and also about the change. Remember that you are changing in people's behavior, knowledge, how they perform their work. So you will not get it from day one, but you can get it from day 10, day 30. You can get it on the long-term process. All right? Is it clear or we need any more clarifications? If it is okay, please write 2 in the chat box. Technical trainings are faster than the behavior. Definitely, and that's depend when it comes to the R, because here, Lucy, you are saying about the technical training is faster than the behavioral training when it comes to the ROI. Because in the technical part, people will start to do it on the next day. So you would find the people easily getting you the results. But when you're talking about the behavioral things, something like intangibles, you cannot catch it, you cannot hold it, something not technical part that needs some time to see the right results or the expected results. Absolutely 100% correct. I totally agree with you. Let's say, for example, you are teaching people or delivering the training for the people about how to use a particular system. So within the sessions by itself, you will have hands-on practice, and then you start to see the results from the next day once they will start to use the session. One of the cases that I personally delivered for it, that we have a new POS system, point of sale system. We'll start to deliver like a classroom training first, and then we'll start to have on-job training for those people into phases, not into like a one-shot. We have it like a phases, and we get like a machines in the rooms and we'll start to deliver this one. We create like a fake money, okay, to start to have the practice. But for the behaviors, it takes some much more time to get the results. Behavioral changes within Belusi 18 to 24 months. In this particular part, when we are talking about a development, I would say when we're talking about the development parts, in some soft skills programs, we can get the results for less than this amount of period of time. Because here we are talking about a very big, huge change in their behaviors. Let's say you are taking a person from a supervisory level and work on his develop his skills to be in a managerial level. So I would say yes, 18 to 24 months. Some other programs, normal skills, so that it would properly take less than this time. Mr. Ahmed Muhammad, it depends on what behavior you want to develop. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. And also, when I'm talking about the long period of time that would properly, working on a competency framework, you have an existing one and linking this to their performance and to see in this year, in this particular competency, they get this score. So they need to work on that to find a different change results in their end of the year performance appraisal, and then we'll see the results of change. Thank you very much. So how training and development supports, sorry, back again to this point. Any questions or clarification about the training evaluation model? Could you share frame times per all the mentioned levels? So you basically are talking about here. You're talking about the management level or supervisors or the team level, correct, Sarah? Or you're talking about the levels of the evaluation, just to clarify your question. Evaluations, all right. Okay, for the reaction and the satisfaction of the people, normally within the same day or the next day, just to see how it will be the reaction. And let's say, for example, I am the trainer, I am the person who's delivering the session into that specific part. Okay, I would leave the room, give them the freedom to write and to say the right evaluation for the program by itself. Okay, for level 2, pre and post assessment, mostly some of the sessions will do it like a pre-assessment, like a required, it's required to attend the session, and after the session within 1 week or in the same day or from the same day or till the end of the week, they will do the post assessment to see their reaction, to see the learning gain, how much they got from the knowledge. Changing in the behavior, I would say 1 to 3 months to see the impact of the real changing of their behavior. Within for the results, I would say also the same period of time. It will be, but not 1 to 3 months. I would say 1 to 3 months. Yeah. For the ROI, I would say it quarterly. Okay. Any more questions or clarifications for this part? Most welcome, Sarah. Anytime. To be honest with you guys, not all the programs that you are going to measure it into an ROI, a return on investments. Not all the development programs you can measure it, unless that you have some financial aspects to measure it. Let's say, for example, if you're delivering a selling skills training program, so you have to get the rate or the previous performance of sales, how much the people was doing the sales using some measures and the KPIs that the operation or the sales team normally they use, and start to also to compare it before and after to the training. And here also to calculate the training expenses or the training cost, you have to consider something called the man hours, especially when you are preparing your reports to the management. Let's say, for example, we have in our case here, let's say, okay, Just a second. Okay. Let's say here, for example, into the manager level, okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 managers. They are going to attend a 19 training program. So you will take each and every one to calculate their average salary per day, which is here I'm assuming that the training, all of those training programs, it's 1 day, 1 day, 1 day, 1 day, 1 day, 1 day, because this training program is going to be delivered and paid. So we calculate the average salary per day times how many days. Okay, times, yep, number of employees. All right, this is what we call it, like just to calculate the average cost for the people. Let's say, for example, in the right scenario that we are in right now, we have 14 people here in the room for 1 hour training session. So we can properly, this is 14 people, okay, for 1 hour session. Okay, let's say an average, with a great respect for all of us, let's say an average hour or rate per hour is 10 KD, for example. Okay, so what we are going to do is we'll take 14 times 10, 14 times 10, so we'll have 140 KD. This is the cost for the session, so thank you very much. All right, clear. And the same part also you can calculate it for the rest of the employees. This is how normally we do the calculation for them. Okay, I'll keep this here so we can return it back later. Any questions for this part of evaluations related to it? Because it's, for me personally, I used to say that if you cannot measure it, you cannot manage it. And this is where the top management, they can see the benefit of what you are doing. Any questions here? If everything is okay, please type 5. Thank you, Lucy. So we have 3 out of 13. Shady, thank you. Okay, our final part here. What is the training and development relation with the performance management, talent development, employee engagement? Within addition to the formula mentioned, the cost of training we have added. Yes, sir. We can consider the time if you're doing it like an in-house by your people, so you can consider also the time of developing, sorry, time of analysis, developing, designing the content, your implementation, and your delivery. And this is if you are doing this in-house training program by your internal training and development team. You can consider this. And but here it will be like an indirect cost. It's not a direct cost. So you need to calculate it in a long-term phase or long-term process, not a short-term. Especially when you're talking about an annual calendar. Let's say, for example, within 1 year, one person, one trainer, sorry, he's going to prepare or deliver 10 new training programs. This is part of from his KPIs. So you are going to consider his salary times 12 within this, and then we start to go through the rest of the calculations. Okay, our final question today is about how the training and development support the other HR functions, and what's the relationship between L&D and the performance management, and which is basically here that we are going to link that training programs, it must be linked to the performance of the employees by itself, regardless of their level. So let's say, for example, within the analysis, you find your team the performance is, let's say, scaled 3 out of 5. When we are designing the training program, we have to think, how can we take it from 3 level to 4 level? And that will be related to their performance. And also we are going to, for the talent development, we have to work on their PDPs, PIPs, how we are going to improve the peoples to what they need to go for their next step or the next career level that they needed as a specific skills or behaviors or knowledge that they need to do. When it comes to the recruitment part, here we are talking basically about the onboardings. How can we block the new employees from X company to our company? Let's say, for example, you are having a marketing person. The marketing there in XYZ company is not going to be a different than your existing company. But all what you need to do, like a quick installations for this particular employee within the new culture, with new organization. Or same like when you plug in a new USB to your laptop, it takes like a 2-3 seconds for installation. That would be the main link between the training and development with the recruitment one into the orientations, onboarding plans, and then to sign it off. Employee engagements. Some of the training programs we can link it and relate it to retaining the employees and engage to the employees. One of my ex programs delivered in my one of the programs I delivered in my previous companies is doing like an in-store motivation engagement employees, getting rest other departments to connect together and work as an big employee engagement activities. Group sessions, online sessions, bite-sized trainings, doing like a YouTube channels. Okay, and that will help to the employee engaged within the company. Team building activities too. Yes, exactly. In my previous company, I was working in a retail company. Yes, before, and we reached to close the store. From the store used to open from 10 o'clock till to operate from 10 a.m. till 11 p.m. We close the store from 10 to 10:30, and we do like an in-store exercise, energizing activities, engaged with the people, and it have a very, very, very good return onto the employee engagement level. Quizzes, prizes, exactly. There is a lot of initiatives that we can do it here into this part. Outdoor exercises and activities, we can support the employee engagements in terms of participating with some external challenges or competitions. Game-based learning, I would say this part or the gamification into the delivery part, how you could deliver the knowledge, how can you transfer your message within a game based. And this is, by the way, this is one of the latest trends in training and development people. It's recently start to go to alive within the last 5 years. Computers against each others. All right, any questions, any clarifications? I'm very open for that. And yep, I'm thanking you, all of you, for attending. Can you do such a quiz and activities online to cope with the current? All right, Dr. Muhammad Rabia, thank you for a very good questions. Okay, the as a game or a quizzes or an activities, for me personally, I will start to have like a WhatsApp groups, and start to make like a sharing knowledge activity within each and every one separately in each and every country. I'm holding 6 countries right now. Okay, across the GCC. So each country or each manager's team within each country, they will start to put in a format, in the right format, one sharing knowledge on one. Try gimit gimkit.com. It's helpful. Yeah, sure. I'll try for this. We'll start to ask each and every manager just to make sure they are continuous. Their minds are still alive, not their energy went down. Giving them some questions, sending them some instructions to do some exercises, and returning back again with the results. So this is to keep them up and running within the current situation. Okay, what's your main role as a leader? This is one of the questions I used. What's your main role as a leader that you should do it for your teams during this situation of COVID-19 situation, pandemic? This is one. Two, we'll start to ask them, okay, what is your daily message? What's your day message? What's your message for today that you would like to share it to everyone? So each and every manager will start to share a quote, share a message, and then we'll start to collate all of this to them into one file and then share it with everyone. Number three, we'll start to do it also as well as a sharing knowledge activity, is that find the business terminology, search for it, give the right description, and explain it. And then write it in a format or record it in a video and start to share it within the group. And I was expecting from them at the beginning a very low interaction. However, that they surprised me and give me a very huge interaction across all the countries. So each and every one will start to find a specific measurable things for the business parameters like sales, GMROIs, and all of those KPIs, and then we'll start to share it with everyone. So each and every one has to go to search first, do his own individual homework, and then return it back again to everyone with the results. This is one of the activities or the quizzes that normally we do it into these online situations. Between time and time also as well, we do like sharing sessions online, same like the online conference that we are doing right now. And we give a space for each and everyone to talk about his activity or his preparation to prepare a message for 10 to 15 minutes, and then we'll start to share it for everyone. Okay, any more questions? Any clarifications? Anyone would like to have any ask about anything? Thank you, Lucy. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, Mr. Ahmed, Ahmed Awad. Appreciate it. You'll be sharing the PPT? Yes, for sure. I'll put the recording for the session and the chat logs also as well, and the PPT, and put it in a Google Drive and share with you the link so you can download it anytime. I'm sure that everyone can access through the Google Drive, correct? Thank you very much, Sarah. Appreciate it. Please, anyone, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. If I know it, I will share my knowledge, share my experience. If not, I'll say, I'm sorry, I don't know it. Great. Thank you so much for your precious time and efforts. My pleasure. You mentioned the succession plan as an informal training, but I see it differently. Succession plan, informal training? Sorry. In the succession planning, you normally need to do like a follow-up or coaching session with the people or the individuals development plans. That's why we do it like an informal training. Informal training is not the same like in the formal training that we have to call the people for a meeting room. We should be one to many. The informal training, it will be the opposite. It will be normally like a one-on-one session, and definitely it's going to be recorded. It's not unrecorded, so it's not like a casual discussion, especially when you're doing like a coaching, business coaching session or a mentoring session. You have to be also recorded. And also as a training manager or a training leader, okay, you would use those kind of formal and informal and on-job trainings as a part of from your KPIs, annual KPIs. Exactly, like as on a coaching, because some of them, the not familiar with those techniques. They are not that much good sim like we are using those techniques or using those tools during the succession planning or PDPs or PIPs, so that we need to guide them, give them the right direction. Succession planning can be for only one employee. This is why it can be informal. That cannot be informal. Sorry, that cannot be formal, because formal is one too many. Regardless the platform or the methodology of the delivery, doing online or offline or in the classroom, this is the formal one too many. But in the informal, it's one to one, and that's why here it comes like coaching and mentoring. It's one of the key tools for that delivery part. It's one-on-one only. And preparing one employee to hold the position, I mean. All right, for the succession planning, the main idea for the succession planning is to help the people to progress in their career. This is one. Two, to find or to work proactively for a specific position replacement. Okay. And one of the key things or the key challenges, let's say, for example, put it into a scenario that I have employee A and I have employee B. As a succession, let's say, for example, for the B is successor for A. Okay. So A is going to deliver all the knowledge for B, okay, to prepare B on the right track. So we need a person, which is C, to check on B that this B received the right information from A. And this is one of the key things that, or the key challenges that you are going to find it into these cases. Let's say, for example, we have Ahmed and we have Lucy and we have Dr. Muhammad Rabia. So here's Ahmed, here is Lucy, and here is Dr. Rabia. Okay, Ahmed is a very bad guy. I didn't deliver everything correct to Lucy. We need a person to check on Lucy that did she receive the right, correct, proper information and how to do things, get all the things from Ahmed. And that's where here that we need the informal part, that just to make sure that a validation, following ups, are they on the right track? Any gaps, any things that we need to work into that. Is it clear? Or still not that much clear? Clear. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Any more questions, ladies and gentlemen? Tamam. Thank you. You're most welcome. Anytime that would be my pleasure to help for this wonderful group and wonderful team. I learned a lot from all of you. Okay. However, during this time, we didn't have the opportunity to meet again. But let's hope for the good, inshallah, that things will pass. Thank you very much. Any questions? I'm very open for any kind of questions.
Thank you, Ahmed, very much for your comprehensive and great session. Inshallah, I hope everyone has benefit from it, and inshallah, hope this would be starting of series of online learning sessions. Okay, everyone is welcome to present, and also we're looking forward, inshallah, to have you with us again, inshallah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Muhammad. I appreciate it. And guys, I would have the last thing from you, please, before you leave. If you can rate the session, I'm gonna share the link for a quick evaluation to measure level 1. Okay, and would be appreciated your participation. Thank you very much. And see you again. Thank you, Mr. Ahmed. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. I'm gonna end up the meeting right now.